The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
The University of Oklahoma has become a dominant force in women's gymnastics, winning 4 of the last 5 Big 12 titles and becoming a fixture at the NCAA Super 6. This year, led by stars Bree Olson and Taylor Spears, the Sooners could have their best team ever. The West Virginia Mountaineers have high hopes, and 2 of their stars, Kaylin Millick and Jada Lawrence, hope to surprise. And hometown Iowa State has a rich gymnastics tradition to rely on, and they've won here before. The 2013 Big 12 Gymnastics Championships are coming up next. For over 40 years, the Hilton Coliseum on the Iowa State campus has been the destination for Cyclone fans. And today, for the 4th time, it will play host to the Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. Iowa State, Oklahoma, and West Virginia will vie for the Big 12 crown. Welcome, everyone. I'm John Roethlisberger, joined by former world champion and Big 12 champion Holly Weiss. Now, Holly, I don't want to sound like a broken record every year here at the Big 12 Championships, but here we are again, talking about how Oklahoma is the team to beat.
Yes, Oklahoma definitely has the best team they've ever had. They have been dominating all season long, and they're definitely ready for Big 12 championships.
As we see Oklahoma number 2 in the country, just behind a very strong Florida team, and also ranked in the top 5 on every single individual event, actually top 4 on every individual event. And they've also won 4 of the last 5 Big 12 titles, and they lead the NCAA with 19 wins this regular season. Actually, their only loss coming last weekend against a very strong Alabama team. Now, it's hard to just pick out a couple of Sooners because they are strong top to bottom, but if you had to pick out a couple, Bree Olson and Taylor Spears seem like 2 of the leaders for that squad.
Yes, they have definitely stepped up this year and come up as leaders. And Bree Olson is the all-around defending champion at Big 12s. She also has 12 individual titles this season, and she's a 3-time NCAA All-American. Taylor Spears is ranked number 1 on beam and comes into this meet number 3 in the all-around. She's also had 20 individual titles this season as well. So here's Bree Olson, and she's always one of the crowd favorites. She brings this energy to the floor, and she does some huge skills, and they're very unique. So she's always a fun gymnast to watch.
Now, for West Virginia and Iowa State, obviously long shots. West Virginia ranked 25th in the country, Iowa State not ranked. So for them, it seems like they need to be perfect, but who are they really going to look to? Who are they going to rely on?
West Virginia is really going to look to Kaylin Millick, who is a senior and an all-around gymnast for them. She's really stepped up as a leader and is hoping to lead her team to this victory. And then for Iowa State, we have Michelle Sheely, who will be contributing on 3 events tonight. And again, for both of these teams, the coaches know it's going to take hitting 24 for 24 routines and being flawless.
So here we go. It is time to begin the Big 12 Championships here in Ames, Iowa on Fox Sports Net. When we come back, the first rotation will begin in Ames. Welcome back to the Hilton Coliseum on the Iowa State campus here in Ames, Iowa, in the Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. We are getting ready to begin the first rotation. John Roethlisberger joined by Holly Weiss. And we have 3 teams and 4 events and 4 rotations. Obviously, each team will compete on each apparatus, and they will put up 6 gymnasts on each event. And 5 of those 6 gymnasts, their scores will have to count towards that team score. We will be awarding Big 12 Championship team as well as individual titles today. Oklahoma will be starting on the uneven bars, while Iowa State will be starting on the vault, and West Virginia will be starting on the floor exercise. Coach KJ Kindler's team ranks in the top 4 on every single event, Holly, which that's unheard of. That's called domination, I think.
Yes, they have definitely been dominating this season. They've been scoring 197 plus all season long, even broke a 198, so they are definitely ready to go today.
KJ Kindler, I'm pretty sure, I mean, she's pretty much the superstar coach. I'm thinking she has a cape under that outfit right there. She has done it all. The only coach in NCAA history to actually bring 2 separate teams to the Super 6, actually brought Iowa State to the Super 6, as well as obviously her current school, the University of Oklahoma. Next up for Oklahoma on the uneven bars, freshman Haley Skaman from Riverside, Illinois. And Haley has been quite a story, Holly, because Coach KJ Kindler talks about her and how she seems like she's almost gotten stronger as the season goes on. Unusual for a freshman.
Yes, that's very tough as a freshman, especially whenever you come in and you're competing competing 3 events right off the bat. It definitely shows a lot of mental strength. Very nice pike Jaeger there.
So Oklahoma, a nice start on the uneven bars, and so critical to get that momentum out of the gate. Get those first couple hit routines under your belt.
Yes, you always want to get off to a good start. It helps the rest of the lineup feel confident.
So the freshman doing what she does, getting out there and very machine-like, hitting her routines. West Virginia starting their competition on the floor exercise. This is junior from Prosper, Texas. Mackenzie Bristol comes from a club you know well, Holly.
I do know it pretty well. She's from Woga, which is the same gym that I went to growing up, so this should be a fun routine to watch.
And we talked about what Iowa State and West Virginia need to do here tonight to have a shot to dethrone the defending Big 12 champions, Oklahoma. And both coaches talk about we just want to go out and hit 24 for 24. Gymnastics is a unique event. There's no defense. All you can go out there and do is do your job. So both of these teams got to hit their routines. They got to almost be perfect and hope, honestly, Oklahoma makes a mistake.
That's right. They have to hit and they have to be flawless. I mean, they have to go for every landing and every handstand. They need to save every tenth that they can.
Head coach Jason Butts in his second year at West Virginia, giving Mackenzie the last couple pointers before she heads out on the floor.
Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia looking very sharp. We see a lot of smiles from the faces of the West Virginia gymnasts. Honestly, since we got here the day before this competition, they have been all laughs and all smiles and so relaxed.
And here's a replay of her middle tumbling pass. Very nice connection there.
Another look at the same pass. So West Virginia starting on their best event the way they want to with a couple of hits. Back over to Oklahoma and the uneven bars. This is the defending Big 12 all-around champion, Brie Olson. Oklahoma is rocking the uneven bars, and here we go with one of their best.
She's actually ranked 6th in the country on this event. Beautiful Delchev, which is a very unique release move. And she has one of the biggest dismounts in the meet right here. A full twisting double layout, and she nails it. I know Coach Kindler is going to be happy with that one.
Unbelievable, 9.95. Things only get better for Oklahoma.
They are on fire. They're going to be hard to stop.
Oklahoma and West Virginia look good on their first event. We are partway through the first rotation, and when we come back, we are going to have our first opportunity to see the host squad, the Iowa State Cyclones, here in Ames, Iowa at the Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championship. Partway through the first rotation here at the Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. Oklahoma doing what they needed to do, coming in and rocking out some uneven bars routines. West Virginia, meanwhile, on the floor exercise, also doing a solid job. Senior Chelsea Goldschroff is the next gymnast up, following a couple of hit routines, but still looking for that big score, that 9-8 or 9-9 that West Virginia is going to need.
And Chelsea is ranked 5th in the Big 12 on this event. Starts out with a nice double pike. So far, this has been a very clean routine. Just one pass to go. Nice dance connection there. And a solid ending.
Chelsea Goldschroff, the senior, actually setting a West Virginia record at this competition for the most career meets competed in. Quite the contributor. There's a 9.75, a decent score for West Virginia. We talked about her a little bit in the open, Holly. One of the standouts for Oklahoma, Taylor Spears, the junior, and Oklahoma. Right now, their low score on the bars is a 9.85.
That's incredible. And we know Taylor's capable of scoring much higher than that. She's really known for her beautiful lines on this event. She's really hitting those handstands, which is something that Coach Kindler always focuses on.
Immaculate toe point, probably the best toe point in the whole competition.
Yeah, and she nails it. I don't think the Sooners could have done much better here.
9.95 for Taylor Spears. So by my undergraduate math, I think they scored about a 49.55, which is almost their season high on that event.
And I know that they are very happy to start the competition off with that score.
Kaylin Malik, one of the stalwarts for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Senior out of an Eastern Michigan transfer in 2011, actually, to West Virginia.
And they're looking for a big score from her. Very clean routine.
So far for the Mountaineers, they are doing the game plan. They want to hit 24 for 24. So far, 5 for 5 for Jason Butts and his Mountaineers.
And here's a replay of her final pass. Very clean.
Kaylin has a career high 9.9 on this event. Oh, that would look good on their team score right now. Oh, and it's a 9.775, so not that 9.9, but the scores are building for West Virginia with one gymnast left to go for them. Head coach Jay Ronayne in his 7th season at Iowa State, and while West Virginia and Oklahoma were going at it on the floor exercise and the even bars, Iowa State was having an outstanding vault rotation on their first event. This is junior from Covina, California, Haley Johnson, one of their co-captains, getting things going for the Cyclones.
Full, pretty good landing. She hopped around a little bit, but I think she was just excited and ready to salute.
I think she was a bit excited. And one of the stars for the Iowa State Cyclones, Caitlin Brown out of Apple Valley, Minnesota.
Another good vault for the Cyclones.
Caitlin Brown, ironically enough, her coach, as she came out of club into college, said she wasn't much of a vaulter, but she looks like she's gotten that on track. And last up for the Cyclones, junior Mylan Ivory, capping off a great vault rotation.
Very unique vault, not one that you see very often. A front handspring, front flip with a full twist, and she had a very nice landing.
Jada Lawrence, the freshman, will get her chance on the second rotation on the vault when we return to Ames, Iowa. After one rotation here at the Women's Big 12 Championships in Ames, Iowa, it is so far all Oklahoma as they take a nice little lead with a 49.55 on the uneven bars, a half a point over Iowa State. But Iowa State, Holly, puts up that 49.05, a season best for them on the vault.
Yes, I know Jay Ronayne is definitely excited about that vault score.
So Oklahoma dominates the uneven bars, it seems, and they go to what is really supposed to be their best event, the balance beam, and this is junior Madison Mooring.
Yes, the Sooners are ranked #1 in the country on this event, and whenever they're up there competing, they really have this calmness about them, which is something that is always helpful on beam.
You know how I've watched KJ's teams for a number of years now, and it always seems like beam is one of the events that they're ranked highest, if not the highest ranked event for them. Is there something in the water in Oklahoma? Why is it always such a strong event for them?
I mean, KJ puts a lot of work into beam. That's kind of her event that she's always on. Not to say that beam is more important than all the other events, but I think she just kind of takes pride in beam a lot.
You could make an argument that it is the most important event. It's one of those that a meet can turn so easily, and it's so easy to have mistakes that it really is. If you can nail it, you could be a step up on most of the rest of the country.
That's right. It's definitely the event that can either make the competition or break it, so.
Madison Mooring getting Oklahoma off to another outstanding start. And again, it really, the only thing I saw, and I'm not an expert like you, Holly, but it really, the hop and the landing was the only deduction I could find.
That's all I saw, too. They won't be able to take much on that routine.
Madison was an All-American on the beam as a freshman at Oklahoma.
And Madison was actually in the 5th spot all season, but when freshman Keely Kmichek went out with an emergency tonsillectomy, Madison was moved to the 1st spot because KJ felt like she could fill it well.
Iowa State's second event, trying to keep that mojo going. This is Megan McDonald.
And a beautiful double layout dismount, just a small hop on the landing.
You talk about anything can happen in the sport of gymnastics, and Iowa State is living by that mantra. They look solid so far today.
Yes, it looks like they are peaking at the right time.
Back over to the balance beam. Sophomore Rebecca Clark.
very unique mount.
You can see that unique tape job on the knee there. Rebecca struggled a little bit last year with a knee injury.
Front aerial connected to a back handspring swing down. KJ watching from the end of the beam. That's kind of her go-to spot to watch beam.
Does she ever get in your sight when you're up there, Holly? Is it distracting ever at all?
Well, whenever I was on the team, I did sometimes see her there, but I was just used to it. It didn't bother me.
Oklahoma's first two gymnasts put up a 9.85 and a 9.875. Madison Moore and Lauren Alexander.
And a stuck dismount for Rebecca.
KJ likes it.
Another hit routine.
Another virtually perfect routine,
Yeah.
you know, for the gymnastics they're doing. You can't really ask more of these guys so far. Look at the dismount.
And those sticks, that's what KJ said that they've really been focusing on going into postseason, because she knows that that's what it's going to take to win the national championship this year.
Taylor Spears, we will have an opportunity to see her, the #1 gymnast in the country on the balance beam, when we come back. Continuing the second rotation here at the Big 12 Championships in Ames, Iowa. Iowa State keeping the momentum going from the vault. This is junior Camille Santar-Chauvet. She's out of Canada, an outstanding beam worker. Struggled with some shoulder and elbow injuries last year, but she is back strong, and this is a big, important routine for Iowa State and for her.
Beautiful form. Her feet are just glued together. Good job hitting all of her handstands.
Unbelievable. Iowa State came to play today. They have put up 4 good scores leading up to Camille's routine right there, and certainly that score will build. All 9.8s and 9.7s for Iowa State so far. Defending Big 12 all-around champion. You know, it was unique last year, Holly. Bree had never competed the all-around until the Big 12 championships last year. That was the first time she did the all-around, and she goes out and she wins it.
That's right.
Very unusual. Big.
Oh, no. And that's a difficult series that she does there. Round off layout to 2 feet, and she was just a little off, and that caused the fall.
And that is so unfortunate. Now that puts a lot of pressure on the team here. They had a ½ point lead coming into the second rotation. That's going to put some pressure on the last gymnast up. They have to hit. They can drop this score, but if other girls miss, look out. Iowa State is hitting bars, and they have the potential to make this close. Meanwhile, that might just take care of Bree Olson's chances in the all-around, unfortunately.
That's right. That fall did open up the door a little bit.
She finishes strong, which is so important when you make a mistake. Obviously, Oklahoma hopes they can drop that score, Holly, but if they don't, you really got to make sure you regroup and make every 10th count.
That's right. After a fall, you kind of just have to forget about it so that you can make the rest of the routine as clean as possible.
What happened there, Holly? It looked good until she landed a little crooked.
Yeah, I mean, looked good to me too. Sometimes it's a little different feeling than anyone else can see.
Now back over to the uneven bars, and Coach Jay Ronayne talked about waiting for an opportunity. If there's an opportunity that comes up, meaning a mistake by Oklahoma, can his team answer? Can they go out there and hit routines? Well, the door's starting to open. Can the Cyclones bring it? Oh, and I think I might have done the Johnny R. jinx on that one, Holly. That timing was very unfortunate.
Yes, that is unfortunate for Iowa State. But they still may be able to drop this score, so it might not affect them.
And they do have 5 good routines just prior to Sarah Townsend here, freshman, going up. But that's unfortunate. Usually, and things continue to go wrong. They definitely will drop this score, but, you know, potentially a 10th or 2 from that team score by not counting that big routine at the end, and not what Sarah had hoped for, being the anchor on the uneven bars. Meanwhile, can Jason Butts and his West Virginia Mountaineers mount a comeback as well? They are on the vault. They had a very good, solid floor performance. Now they're going on to the vault. A very good event for them as well. And they needed to put it together here. This is Kaylin Millick, senior, co-captain.
And she has a career high of 9.85.
Another Yurchenko full, and she matches her career high 9.85, Holly.
I think they're definitely happy with that score. That's what they need.
How can you tell they're happy? This is senior Alaska Richardson, an outstanding vaulter. You see her career high 9.925. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for West Virginia. Can she match it?
Small step on the landing, but very high.
That is a tough vault, a blind landing, and quite honestly, I thought that was better than Kaylin Millick's vault, but only getting a 9.85, and here we go. Hang on, Jada Lawrence, freshman. She could fly out of this venue. Huge vaulter.
Another Yurchenko full, 2 small steps on the landing, but huge height.
Another 9.85, and you don't really get an appreciation for that vault looking at it head on. She was about a mile away from the vault table when she landed. So West Virginia doing what they need to do, hitting routines, looking for their opportunity as well. Last up for Oklahoma. Now talk about pressure. Taylor Spears ranked #1 in the nation on this event. And if there is ever a #1 ranked gymnast that needs to put it together, it's right here, right now. She is following a 9.275 and a 9.3 for the previous routines for Oklahoma. They need to erase one of those team scores.
Beautiful series. That was an Anodi connected to a back handspring swing down, and you don't see many Anodis these days. When I was talking to Coach Kindler, she was talking about how Taylor has really stepped up this year and has been very mentally tough, and that's what she needs right now. So far, this routine has been pretty flawless. Beautiful dismount, back handspring gainer full, and she did what she needed to do. She did it just about as good as she could.
One more look at this dismount, Holly. Looks like she moved her foot a little bit. Probably won't get the stuck landing. She tried to sneak one in there with the judges.
It did slide a little bit, but she tried to fake him out.
I think that's a collective whew from the sidelines for the Oklahoma Sooners and their head coach, KJ Kindler. They will move on to the floor exercise on their 3rd rotation. So not the greatest performance from the #1 team in the country, Oklahoma, but not a disaster. We have more gymnastics to come from Ames, Iowa. It's a nice warm, balmy day, at least for the geese on Lake Laverne. I'm pretty sure you could still ice fish out there if you wanted to. It's supposed to be springtime, isn't it? We are halfway through the Big 12 Gymnastics Championships here in Ames, Iowa. The all-around competition looks like this. Taylor Spears from Oklahoma has a 2/10 lead over Elizabeth Stranahan, largely because some of the mistakes from her teammates. Meanwhile, from West Virginia, Kaylin Millick rounds out the top 3 in the all-around standings. And for the team competition, Oklahoma, despite having those mistakes, Holly Weiss, they maintain a 3/10 lead over Iowa State. West Virginia about 5.5 tenths behind the first place spot. But it's tighter. It's a lot tighter than I think we thought it was going to be at this point of the competition. You know, it could be exciting down the stretch depending on what Oklahoma does.
That's right. Beam definitely opened up the door for Iowa State. And after those 2 falls, Taylor Spears came back and she kind of got them back on track. But at the same time, Iowa State was rocking bars. So from here, no one knows what could happen.
Yeah, we talk about gymnastics being a sport that literally anything can happen on any given day. You know, it's like hockey. The puck bounces the wrong way and the wrong team wins. But here, Oklahoma finds itself in a position where, you know, great teams sometimes aren't judged by how good they are when they're on. They're judged by how good they are when things don't go right. So not right now for Oklahoma. They're going to have to test themselves a little bit and see what kind of resolve they have to get back up and do it right and hopefully finish out this Big 12 championships for them. Otherwise, we're going to have a surprise winner.
That's right, and I think the Sooners are capable of doing that. They know how to forget about the last event and move on. So I think they'll come back strong in the second half of the meet.
I don't want to overstate this, but this might be the most important routine at this point in the competition for Oklahoma. Can they get things back on track after a very rough beam outing? This is Laura Albright Jr. from Carrollton, Texas.
Front double full. Right now, the Sooners are going to be trying to make up for those falls that they had on beam, so try to save every tenth they can.
Beautiful. Neat combination.
Their unique choreography on this event. Coach Kindler does all of the routines herself.
So the transfer from Washington starts off Oklahoma the right way on the floor exercise. Just about a perfect routine for the junior. Take another look at this pass. Beautiful twister. Very clean in the air. It's all hugs as she gets congratulations from the current all-around leader, Taylor Spears. Now we move over to the uneven bars to Jada Lawrence. We saw her rock out that vault. Can she bring the momentum to the uneven bars? Again, West Virginia only 0.55 back of Oklahoma as well. So this meet, it's far from over.
And a fall over on her overshoot. And before that, a little bit sloppy on some skills and missing her handstands. Not what they were hoping for with this routine.
Coach Jason Butts talked about the bars, and he said, you know, a lot of the kids that he recruited to do the uneven bars aren't in the lineup for various reasons, injuries or otherwise. So they've kind of taken a conservative approach here. They don't have a lot of big release moves, and their idea was to go up there and just hit their gymnastics and hit it clean. Obviously, this is not how they wanted to start. Big double layout, though. Holy cow. So now that puts the pressure squarely on the rest of the lineup. An 8.95 is absolutely not a score. Jason Butts and the Mountaineers want to count towards that team total. So the rest of the team has got to put it together. Now over to the balance beam, Henrietta Green. Now Oklahoma went through the gauntlet of the balance beam. Now it's Iowa State's chance. They closed the gap, but this is the event that anything can happen. Can they handle the pressure?
When talking to Jay Romaine, he said that they've had quite a few gymnasts go out this season with injuries, and Henrietta has really stepped up to fill those gaps.
Critical, that first person up to keep that momentum going. You know, they finished the uneven bars on a bad note, but still had a good team score there. Puts up a 9.75. Does Henrietta Green. A great score to build on, trying to stay toe-to-toe with the #2 team in the country. Back over to the uneven bars in West Virginia, Erica Smith.
Very unique connection there.
Kind of a unique story. Erica was a member of the elite program here in the United States and finished that and took a year off from gymnastics, and we see a major break, Holly. Oh, and she is struggling.
She tried really hard to save it without getting off of the bar, but that didn't work, and she ended up having to jump down anyways.
And this is really unfortunate. We saw Jada Lawrence, the first gymnast up, get that 8.95, and now, unfortunately for West Virginia, they are going to have to count one of these two team scores, which, and to meet this tight with Oklahoma rolling on floor exercise and Iowa State continuing to do what they're doing well, this might take West Virginia completely out of it.
And finishing up with a double back dismount, a little low on the landing.
Very unfortunate there. I was just mentioning she had taken a year off of school, or out of gymnastics rather, before she came back to go to West Virginia, and has been having a very good season. Unfortunately, that was not indicative of the great work she's been doing. Now onto the floor exercise. This is your current all-around leader, Taylor Spears, and she has just been, she is rock solid all the way around, ranked 22nd in the country on this event. And really, with Bree Olson having that mistake, as well as Erica Brewer having that mistake on balance beam, this really opens up the door for her to coast to a Big 12 all-around title, as well as hopefully getting that team title for Oklahoma.
And this is a beautiful routine. Taylor is really known for her gracefulness. Beautiful front double full. Very clean.
Taylor Spears in Oklahoma seem to have righted the ship on the floor exercise. High fives all the way around from the Oklahoma Sooners. Fans are loving it here in Iowa City. The third rotation, a lot more gymnastics yet to come here at the Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championship. Still in the third rotation here at the Big 12 Gymnastics Championships, John Roethlisberger, Holly Weiss. Iowa State on the balance beam is having a very solid rotation. They closed the gap again after that second rotation on Oklahoma. But going into the balance beam where anything can happen, they have still continued to roll. Haley Johnson, Jr., winner of the 2011 Team Rock Award, and that goes to somebody who just is a rock in competition, and this is that girl, and she is needed right now.
Slight wobble on that back handspring layout, but a good save.
Haley actually struggled a little bit with a concussion of all things, not something you have a lot in gymnastics, and really has had some issues with the lights in the arena. Wasn't even here yesterday at team practice because of those lights. They really bothered her eyes, but she was back out there on the floor, and really needed for this Iowa State team to have someone like her to count on.
Beautiful gainer layout. This season, the confidence just really hadn't been there on beam, but so far, it looks like a different team today. They're really on. Beautiful 1.5 dismount and another hit routine for the Cyclones.
9.725 for Haley Johnson. Again, very good rotation for Iowa State, but they're trying to keep up with the 9.85s that Oklahoma is putting up on the floor exercise. A tough task to do. Speaking of the floor exercise, back over to Oklahoma. We saw Bree Olson on the beam, very unfortunate fall. But a veteran that she is, I have no doubt she has put that behind her and is focusing on this event. Again, very strong senior. She saw the high score, 9.95, ranks 12th in the nation on this event.
And this is a really fun routine.
Spears, who we saw earlier, at a 9.9. Huge double pike ollie. She was scraping, we almost had to scrape her off the ceiling. That was big.
That's right, that was big.
KJ Kindler trying to give her the special powers, the special look. Talked to Bree Olson yesterday, and she said it's kind of nostalgic coming back to your last Big 12 championships as a gymnast. This is her senior year, obviously, and she told me that she actually came to see Oklahoma compete here at the Big 12 championships when she was still a senior in high school after she had committed to go to OU. So definitely a special night for her. Unfortunately, it won't be a Big 12 all-around title, but nonetheless, special moment for Bree.
Comeback for Bree Olson.
Another look at Bree.
Really showing off that landing.
One of her easier passes, front 1.5 twist. Getting some words from KJ Kindler and the assistant coach, Lou Ball, KJ's husband. Kaylin Millick, the senior for West Virginia, and they need some senior leadership right now. They have got an 8.6 from Erica Smith and an 8.95 from Jada Lawrence, and they need a big score here.
Routine. That's exactly what they needed after those 2 hiccups that they had on bars.
9.75, so the senior delivers in a very tough spot for West Virginia in a tough rotation. They never stop the enthusiasm, though, Holly. They will keep cheering and keep smiling until the very end. That is their mantra.
That's right.
Back over to the balance beam. Michelle Sheely from the Iowa State Cyclones. And you can see a 9.85 on this event in the last 4 meets.
Very nice connection from aerial to a back layout step out. Very difficult.
Iowa State having an outstanding beam rotation. Michelle's teammate right before her, Caitlin Brown, put up a 9.875.
And they're hoping to be able to drop a 9.675 after this routine.
And I think they should. That was pretty clean.
That was a very good routine. Small hop on the dismount, but other than that, I didn't see many mistakes.
Michelle was the junior national beam champion back in 2009, and there's a 9.85. Nice capper for the Cyclones on a tough event, the balance beam. And in a situation where they're trying to make a move and every 10th counts, I got to give credit to the Cyclones. They answered. The last gymnast up for West Virginia, Amanda Carpenter. Kaylin Miller put up a 9.75, a decent score. Ooh, a little early on that dismount. Holly just, you didn't see it at home, but she just jumped out of her seat a little bit. Came off the bar a little early, it looked like, Holly.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. I did jump. You'll see it right here. She comes off just a little earlier than you should. I thought she was going to peel and maybe not complete the dismount, but she pulled it around.
Managed it pretty well. 9.675 to finish up for the West Virginia Mountaineers on the uneven bars. A disappointing rotation for them, unfortunately. Last performance in this rotation, and if you're going to finish the floor exercise with anybody, this is probably the person you want to see. Haley Skaman, freshman, top-ranked NCAA gymnast on this event as a freshman.
And this is a huge routine. She has outstanding tumbling. Probably the hardest tumbling in the entire meet. Huge double layout.
Wow.
Another beautiful tumbling pass, 1.5 to a back layout step out.
She was struggling a little on that double back at the end, Holly. I pulled a Holly Weiss on that one, kind of jumped out of my seat for a second.
It did. It looked like she got one leg better than the other, so she was starting to almost twist a little bit.
Haley Skaman, the aerospace engineer, is like a rocket ship on this first pass. Holly, oh my goodness.
That was huge. You don't see that very often.
Here's a look at the second pass. Beautiful combination. So Haley Skaman, a 9.95, not her high score, however, but still an outstanding finish for Oklahoma on the floor exercise. We have one more rotation to go. Oklahoma will go to the vault. West Virginia, the balance beam, and Iowa State will finish up on the floor exercise. Welcome back to Hilton Coliseum here on the campus of the Iowa State University. We are entering the fourth and final rotation. We're down the home stretch of the Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championships, and that right there is what everybody is chasing. That is what they are coveting today, the Big 12 team trophy. And right now, Oklahoma has it in their sights. They are in control, about a 7.5-10th lead over Iowa State. Unfortunately for West Virginia, they had a disastrous uneven bars, and they are well back of the leaders at this point. But right now, it is really Oklahoma's meet to win. And in the all-around, Taylor Spears also took control in that last rotation with that beam routine, #1 in the country on that event. And that is a comfortable lead in the all-around. She heads to the vault, and she's got a lead over Kaylin Millick and Elizabeth Stranahan for the all-around title. The final rotation, we'll see Oklahoma on the vault. Nobody will be on the uneven bars. West Virginia moves to the balance beam, and Iowa State will finish up on the floor exercise. And this is really, Holly, a great position for Oklahoma to be in. All they got to do is land on their feet. For Iowa State to have a shot, they are not only going to have to be perfect, but they really need Oklahoma to make 2 major breaks on the vault, which is almost unheard of for them, and really an event that a lot of teams don't make a lot of mistakes on.
That's right. Vault is usually a good event to end on. You just have to run, get down the vault, and land on your feet, where, like you said, Iowa State is going to need to be perfect on floor to catch the Sooners.
The first gymnast up for Oklahoma is Erica Brewer.
And Coach Kindler said it would be very important for her to start this lineup off the right way.
A 9.725, actually in for freshman Keely Kamichek, who has got tonsillitis and not competing this weekend. So that is a good start for Oklahoma. Now moving over to the floor exercise, Michelle Shealy. And we talked about how perfect Iowa State needs to be. Erica Brewer getting a 9.725 on vault for Oklahoma first event. You want to see Michelle beat that score to try to close the gap.
And the Cyclones are coming off of an amazing beam rotation, and they're just hoping to build off of that. Oh. And a fall on her double pike.
And right when we said they need to be perfect, literally the first pass, the first skill, the first routine, not what you want to see. Michelle is one of 6 children, and according to Coach Jay Ronayne, almost treats the family or the team like a family, and she has really become a leader by example for that squad. You can still see Michelle smiling throughout the routine. Be honest with me, how hard when you have a mistake is it to peep that smile on? I mean, at that point, it's got to be a fake smile, right?
Definitely. It's probably the hardest thing, but you do just have to become an actress.
Here's another look at the last pass, Holly.
A nice front 1.5 into a double stag jump. Very pretty combination. So she did a good job finishing the floor routine, but the Cyclones will want to drop that score, so
yeah,
pressure's on.
That 9-1 is not a good way to start for the Cyclones. And for West Virginia, we talked about their bars, a rough bar rotation for them, and now they've got to go to the balance beam. And they're not really in the running to win this meet, but as a coach and as a team, you want your team to go out and regroup and finish strong, and that's a tough task on the balance beam for any team. Erica Smith here, the junior, starting off.
Nice combination there. So far, pretty clean.
She's been a great leadoff competitor for the Mountaineers and has actually been nominated this year for a Specialist of the Year in the Big 12.
Virginia on beam.
And the enthusiasm has not waned one bit for the Mountaineers. As we take another look at the dismount.
Very nice dismount. A little bit low on the landing, but very good landing.
Our current all-around leader, Taylor Spears, really, honestly, all she has to do is stay on her feet, and she will be your 2013 Big 12 all-around champion.
In second place, we have a two-lane.
And a beautiful vault for Spears. Just a tiny little hop on the landing, but other than that.
And that should do it for her in the all-around. A 9.85. Erica Brewer before her, we said 9.725. Certainly enough for Oklahoma to maintain that lead as we head into the rest of our rotation when we come back to Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. The Iowa State campus here in Ames, Iowa, that is the Campanile Tower. And I'll tell you what, winter does not want to go quietly. It is still chilly here in Ames, Iowa. But it's hot inside. Oklahoma, this rotation has been all them. Madison Mooring trying to close it out for the Sooners on the vault. This is an outstanding vault, Holly Weiss.
It sure is. She does a Yurchenko layout with a half twist. It's a blind landing, a couple tiny little steps there, but beautiful vault for Mooring.
9.8. Yeah, that is a tough landing, but she handles it so well every time I see her do that. I always wonder, why doesn't she stick that? We'll have to talk about that later. Elizabeth Stranahan closing out her Big 12 career on the floor exercise. She is fighting for a spot on the medal podium in the all-around. Coming into this rotation, she is a mere .025 behind Kaylin Millick for that second spot. She has got to hit a good routine if she wants to maintain that. Not to mention if she has any hopes of keeping Iowa State within striking distance of the Sooners.
Very nice. Front 1.5 to a back layout step out.
Jay Ronayne said of Stranahan that this is the best season of her career. Had some career bests in the all-around and really has worked hard to finish on a strong note as a senior and has done that.
With a back 2.5 twist, a difficult ending. Nice routine for the Cyclones.
Great finish for Stranahan. The first pass again.
Very pretty pass. As you can see, a little too much power there. Just had to lean back and take her front foot off the floor, but just a very small deduction for that.
We've seen that pass a number of times. As we look at the 9.825 from Stranahan, we've seen that pass a number of times, Holly. I don't know if we've seen it done quite that well. So will that 9.825 be enough to hold on to that second spot? And the girl she is trying to pry it away from is Kaylin Millick. West Virginia has come back really with a strong beam rotation. Millick, the fourth gymnast up, the senior. Just needs to get a 9.825 or better to clinch that silver medal.
And she starts out with a back handspring layout. Small break there, but just a small deduction.
West Virginia came into this competition with a focus on us attitude. According to Coach Jason Butts, they said, we don't care about anybody else. And when you watch them throughout the competition, they really don't. They are over there. You can clearly see they're in their own world. The enthusiasm stays at the highest level it can possibly be, no matter what's happening. They are a fun team to watch.
small wobble there on her full turn, but she covered it with dance very nicely. And ends with a gainer full dismount, small hop on the landing, but good routine.
Their acro series there, Holly.
Looked really nice, just that small wobble at the end.
The team that is in control of their destiny is Oklahoma, and finishing her Big 12 career as well is senior Bree Olson.
And she's known for sticking. And almost a stick. Her left foot just barely moved, but awesome vault, and you can tell she's very excited about that one.
She is loving it, and she should. A 9.9 as she gives the scream right to the face of her coach, Lou Ball. Oklahoma Sooners have a lot to smile about. Just land 2 more vaults on your feet, and you will be back-to-back Big 12 champions. We are down to the final performances of the final rotation here at the 2013 Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. Iowa State finishing up on the floor exercise. This is super sophomore Caitlin Brown, one of the most improved gymnasts on the Iowa State team. Her coaches call her a gamer. If she's having a rough time in practice, she seems to be able to put it together in the meet. And if she's having a great practice, they said, look out.
Out with a beautiful front double full. Looked like she could have gotten those leaps around a little bit more at the end. To a back layout. Nice finish.
Jay Renane likes it. Great finish for Caitlin Brown. Here's the last pass.
And as you can see, her front foot moves just a little bit at the very end of that pass. Might be a half-tenth deduction, but nothing major.
Caitlin Brown, a 9.775 to finish out her night. Back over to the vault, Miley Kaneva, freshman from Duluth, Minnesota. She might be from Minnesota, but ironically, they call her the Flying Hawaiian. Here's why.
Beautiful vault for Miley, huge. And an interesting story, earlier this season, she actually had a blood clot in her wrist, and she had to have emergency surgery, and she was told that she might not ever be able to do gymnastics again. And here she is competing in the Big 12 championship.
And doing quite well, 9.925 for Miley. Back over to the balance beam. West Virginia's last competitor, sophomore Beth Deal, comes out of Parkersburg, West Virginia, trained at Gymnastics.
Very difficult mount right there. Many people don't like to take a risk like that to start off their routine.
Beth trying to cap an outstanding beam rotation. All the scores have been 9-7 or better for the Mountaineers.
A couple tiny bobbles here and there. When I spoke with head coach Jason Butts, he said that this is their strongest lineup and that they just have this confidence on beam, and they're really showing that tonight. Difficult jump right there, taking her eyes off of the beam. Beautiful gainer full, and she sticks the landing. Another hit routine for West Virginia.
And a 9.8 for Beth Beal, so a night that was not maybe perfect for West Virginia. They finish on the toughest event on a strong note at their first ever Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. Finishing up for Iowa State on the floor exercise, the gymnast we saw just rock a very tough front full vault earlier this evening. And she is a lot of fun to watch here too, Holly.
Starting off with a ginormous double pike.
Ironically enough, Mylan had an Achilles injury last year that kept her out for 2012. You would not know that watching her tumble and vault, however.
Front full front layout, very clean. And she looks like she's having fun out there.
Show it off.
Yeah. Ending with a double top. Very nice routine.
What a fun routine, and this is big.
So much power.
.875 for Mylan. All smiles for the Iowa State Cyclones. They had a great night of competition. Over to the vault, Haley Skaman for Oklahoma finishing up there, and she is capable of huge things here.
And this is the biggest vault in the competition. A Yurchenko with a 1.5 twist, blind landing. Just a small step there, but huge vault.
Nice score too, a 9.85, which will ice it for the Oklahoma Sooners. We will have the final standings in the 2013 Big 12 Championship when we return. It is official. It is in the books. The results are in. And it has been an Oklahoma night here in Ames, Iowa. The individual champions on the vault. Miley Kaneva with that huge 9.925 wins it there. We have a tie between a couple of Sooners on the uneven bars, Brie Olson, Taylor Spears, and Rebecca Clark. And Taylor Spears, despite a tough beam rotation for Oklahoma, they take the gold medal there. And Haley Skaman with that huge double layout Holly on floor exercise takes the gold there. And our all-around results, Taylor Spears comfortably a 4/10 lead over second place Caitlin Millick from West Virginia, the first medal at a Big 12 Gymnastics Championships for West Virginia. Caitlin Millick takes home second place, followed by senior from Iowa State, Elizabeth Stranahan. Great competition for her as well. And the team totals. Oklahoma, at the end of the night, they win it comfortably with a 1-point lead over Iowa State. However, Iowa State with their highest team total of the season, 196.175, so a great night for them. West Virginia, their first time in a Big 12 championship. Not a great night, but they broke the ice, and I'm certain they will be back battling for that top spot in the future. Now we're joined by the Big 12 head coach of the championship team, KJ Kindler. Does this ever get old?
Oh, no, of course not.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. How many Big 12 team championships have you won?
I have no idea.
That is a sign of a really good coach. You can't even keep track of them. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the beam rotation. #1 team in the country on balance beam. Can you kind of walk us through what happened on that event?
Yes, I mean, we had a fall on our 4th spot, and normally, I'm going to actually take some responsibility here, because normally I would pull Erica's layout, but we decided to go for it today. Possibly a poor decision because Erica missed, so I probably won't make that decision again. We've gone both ways this year when we've had a miss early in the lineup, so I guess it was a situation that we could have avoided, but I think it's good now that we found out that we probably have to be a little more conservative if that happens, but we did have to count a fall there.
Well, kind of forecasting ahead, you alluded to it a little bit there. You know, you got beat by Alabama the last home meet, or the last regular season meet. You come here, you had a little bit of mistakes on the balance beam. How would you forecast your team looking forward to the regional championships and the NCAA championship? Are you still where you want to be?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just think that we responded well after the Alabama loss. A lot of the mistakes we made in that meet were landings, and I think you saw that our landings were better today. So I think, you know, we're on the right track. Obviously, first time we've counted a fall and beam in a couple years, actually. So I don't expect that to happen again.
Well, you know, you got to give us a little slack because you guys are always so perfect. We can't just ignore the mistakes. But at the end of the day, you guys are the Big 12 champions, and congratulations. Good luck the rest of the season. I know Holly Weiss has corralled the all-around champion. So Holly Weiss, over to you.
Taylor, congratulations on winning the all-around title. Is that something you had thought about coming into this meet?
I did, actually. I knew I was ranked in the all-around, so I knew I had a good chance, but ultimately I thought about the team, and I did what I needed to do.
Awesome. And can you tell me how you were feeling after Erica and Bree fell on beam? What were your thoughts?
Honestly, I had no idea they fell. So I was in my own world, you know, practicing my beam routine, and had no idea when I got up that they fell.
It's probably the way to do it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So Holly, at the end of the night, it kept to the script. We talked about Oklahoma being the favorite, but we didn't really get there the way we thought we would.
That's right. The Sooners came away with the win despite a couple uncharacteristic mistakes on what is their best event, the balance beam. But they were able to come back and really end with an exclamation mark on floor and vault.
They did what Oklahoma does. They did what veteran teams do. They had some mistakes, but they regrouped and they kept things on track. Iowa State, the host team, had a great competition, their best of the year. Meanwhile, West Virginia, welcome to the Big 12. So that will do it from the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. Oklahoma takes another step forward in its ultimate goal, winning the Big 12 title for the 5th time in the last 6 years. For the entire FSN crew, my partner Holly Weiss, I'm John Roethlisberger. Goodbye from Iowa State.